You're highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this presentation today. Today I'm going to be talking about I am that I am. Because when we go into the book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 14, this answer was the answer that was being given to Moses when he asked a question in verse 13. Moses asked a very important question, which is, what shall I say unto them? That is the B part of the question. And the answer that was being given to Moses in verse number 14 is, I am that I am. Now I want us to study this word, study the scripture. But before we go dig deeper, I want us to clear off our mind. Let's just be neutral in this study now. And let's be sincere to ourselves when it comes to exploring or opening up the revelation of the things which is contained. One thing you need to understand about the book of Exodus is that the book of Exodus is all about the revelation of this name, the revelation of the name. This is what it is all about. That is the Exodus. That is the revelation. Revelation is what is an Exodus. This is opening up a different realm. The gate has been opened. So the book of Exodus is all about the revelation of the name. So this is why I want us to focus on this particular topic. I am that I am. Now, you can all agree with me, as you know, as long as this I am that I am is concerned, you need to understand that this is English, isn't it? This is an English language, but for we to be able to understand the mystery of this, now we need to go beyond the English language. Because the English who translated this now would even tell you that the original words are not in what? Are not in English language, but rather they are in Hebrew. So if you are to look for the meaning of this, now where do you go to? You go back to the Hebrew from where they say they got theirs from. And this is what we are about to do in order to do what? To go into the Hebrew now to see them scholars who said this is what they brought out. Now we want to see exactly what they mean by this. And because going back to the Hebrew is going to really give us the real taste, is going to really give us the real understanding of what this I am that I am is. Because this term I am that I am is what is English. But we want to have the basic knowledge of this in what? From the Hebrew perspective. This is why it is very, very important for we to do what? To do our own homework. Because them scholars have presented this. Now it is now your own duty to be able to continue beyond, to go beyond what these them scholars have done. And this is what we are about to do now. We are going dig deeper. We're going to be digging deeper into what? Into the set part 1. Now let's go into the book of Exodus. This is one thing I would like us to do. Let's go into the book of Exodus. That is the book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 14. He said, and Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. Now, I want us to understand something about this I am that I am. This I am, we want to see, where is it coming from? Is in the Hebrew, right? The original word which was being translated or transliterated into this I am that I am, the original words are what? In the Hebrew. So let's trace it into what? To the Hebrews. So now this is why we come here. They referred us into what? Into the Hebrew Strong's number 1961. So by the time we clicked it, what happened? We came over here and we saw that what? We've seen that this particular Hebrew 1961 is actually what? Hayah. So now, here, this is why we have Hayah here, which represents this I am. Now, I'm still taking you, this is still on the surface. Now, we talk about Asher or that. Now, the term that is a conjunction, which is the same thing as what? When you talk about Asher, you're talking about something that is connecting. In another sense, this term Asher in the Hebrew, which is a Hebrew word, but this Hebrew word Asher there is another word that is being used, that can be used, which means the same thing as what? As this, that. So we can actually here, we can use this word. We can either choose to use this word, or we can choose another word to replace this particular word Asher. But this, the scholars will not tell you, people. They will not tell you. What they did is just to give you a lot of just surface knowledge. But in order to go beyond the surface knowledge, you have to do your own homework. So now, the next we have here is what? Is I am. We're going to come back to Asher. So we see I am, which is Haya. That here, that which is Asher. Now, and I am again, which repeated itself, just the same thing that is here. You will see that here is what? Is the same thing as what? As Haya. So now, like I said, that this term Asher here, there is another word that can be used, which means the same thing, but have a different pronunciation. Now listen to what happened now. Just the same way that you see here, there is also another word, another term in the Hebrew, but this the scholars will not tell you, which can be used, which means the same thing, which have the same meaning with what? With Haya. Now this term Haya, we want to look beyond this particular Haya, Asher, Haya. So we want to go beyond, we want to go further to see the mysteries of the things which they are not telling the people on the surface. And this is the reason why now we went down here, we went to the scripture, and we went back into the Hebrew to look in total, to look deeper. And when we went into the Hebrew, Strong's number 1961, just as here said, into the Hebrew 1961, which gave us this Haya right here, Hebrew 1961, it gives us Haya, but there's something they say is a transliteration, right? Now this Haya, which is in 1961, look at here what they wrote here. They say root word etymology, right? They say a primitive root. Compare 1933. Now, when we came down here, I want you to see something, because I'm about to show you the same things that means the same thing here, and also here they are the same thing, but these ones we are not being taught to what? To the people, or the scholars only gave the people to a certain extent. So it is now your responsibility to go beyond the surface to be able to see. So now when we come down here, now we see that what? This particular Haya, which is found in the in this Hebrew Strong's number 1961, means to exist. This particular term Haya means to exist. And this term, they say here that this Haya, the root word, the etymology of it is a primitive root. We should compare 1933. So we want to know what is 1933. So they are trying to point us that this same Haya means the same thing with what? With 1933 in the Hebrew. In other words, when you see Haya, go also to 1933 in the Hebrew. These two things, this word 1933 means the same thing with what? With 1961 in the Hebrew. So what I did here is to simply do what? Connects here to 1933. And when we clicked here, because they say it's a primitive root, compare 1933. So when we did that, it pointed us to Hava. Now, this Hava, listen, understand something now. Just watch out. We came here, which is 1961, but they pointed us to what? to 1933. That is here. They pointed us to this 1933. And when we went to 1933, 1933 told us that it is what? It is Hawa. Now, this Hawa, which is in 1933, which also means to exist, when we went here, 1933, which is in the Hebrew Strong's number 1933, we went there. Watch out what it did also. They say it's a transliteration, Hava. They say the root word etymology, a primitive root, compare H183, that is, and that is, comma, H1961. So what they are trying to tell us is that this term Hawa means the same thing when you go back to what? To H1961. Which is the reason why we come back to H1961, and H1961 means what? Haya. So this H1961 and H1933 are meaning actually what? The same thing. Hawa means to exist, to be, to become. And Hawa and Haya means also to exist, to be, to become. Now, this term Asher, which means that, which means is, we want to see what other term in the Hebrew means the same thing. Now, the term who, which is found in the Hebrew Strong's number 1391, this is what I want us to check and be able to see, because we are talking about another word. Now, listen to what happened here. Right here in the Hebrew Strong's number 1931, because we are going over here now to be able to see about the middle that, this that now, that they put in here, which is a conjunction. We want to see another word from the Hebrew perspective that means the same thing. That is to say, that gives us the real understanding of what, of this particular word, of this particular conjunction. Listen to what happened here. So, what other word are we going to use instead of this that here, which is in the Hebrew, from the Hebrew now? Now, when we came down here, we went into the etymology, the transliteration, the root word of it. Now we want to know about who. Now, they told us here that what the KJV, listen to what they say here. The KJV translates Strong Hebrew 1931 in the following manner. So they are telling us that King James Version translates Strong's number 1931 in the following manner. That is, King James translated this. Who? King James translated this, which is here, you can see it here, which is who, in the following manner, that, him, same, this, he, which, who, such, wherein. So they are trying to let us know that what, this is what KJV did, that this who, KJV translated it as what? As that. Therefore we know that here, that they put in here that the actual word from the Hebrew perspective now, which is supposed to be here, is what? Is who. You get it? Which is this now. Understanding from the Hebrew perspective now. So now, we are seeing something here now. Already, here we have Hawa, which means what? To exist. Which means to exist. And we have who, which means that, which means is. It means who. That is just the definition that it gives to us here. They say it means that. it means this. This is what KJV translates who to be. This, that, is, he, who. You understand it? So we see that this haya means to exist, and who means that or is. And now we have another word which is hawa, which means to exist. The same meaning as what? As haya. Now I'm going to be showing you all these things. You understand it? This is what you're saying here. Watch out. Here, when we come down here into hawa, see here, into hawa, we went to the Strong's number, and the Strong's number pointed us back to 1961. So 1961, we are in 1933 of Hebrew Strong's 1933. But this Hebrew Strong's 1933 pointed us and showed us that that 1933 has the same meaning as what? As 1961. So when we went to that 1961, we saw that 1961 is what? Is haya. Because it was 1933 that pointed us to what? To 1961. They say compared to that. So when we came to 1961 in the Hebrew, which is haya, this haya also pointed us to what? 1933. Did you see it here? They pointed us to 1933. What they are trying to do is to let us know that what? Haya and hawa means the same thing. So, and they are going to meet with what? With a conjunction. So, what they are trying to let us know is that what? That haya and hawa means the same thing, but they are going to meet up here, which is what? This that or this who is going to be what? The conjunction that is going to connect them. This is going to be their meeting point. Their meeting point. You understand it? So haya means to exist. Hawa means to exist. Who means that. So right here now we see that what? The term haya, who, hawa is exactly the same meaning. The same meaning as when you talk about haya, asha, haya. So this one here that you're seeing, when you come down here, now you see that what? Haya, who, hawa, which means to exist. That's here now, which means to exist, to become, which is hawa, haya means to exist. Who, which means that or who, and hawa also means to exist. So now we are going to further, because I want us to see some more things, because I just want us to really get into the real understanding of what is happening. Because right here, the mystery of this, the mystery of who is what I'm about to show you, and the reason why you need to be able to see why Moses said, why the answer was being given to Moses to be as I am that I am. Because you're about to see something, my dear brothers and sisters. So just pay very close attention here. Now listen to just watch out what happened in this pictograph now. What are we seeing here? We're seeing that that right here, we're seeing the right hand arm. Because this right hand arm, the right hand, which is the yod, is right, behold, seen, behold, which is the sun standing right in front of it, that is in the right hand of his majesty. And then he was what? He was crucified. In another sense, he was hung upon a stake. And this stake, I want you to understand something now. Watch it, is what? Like a tent peg. It's like what? The same conjunction. It's like something that is a branch that is going to connect two things together. And now we have another one, which is what? Which is the hay, which is also a behold, somebody surrendering, lifting up his arms, surrendering to what? To the one that is sitting on the right hand. So now I want us to focus on this particular one, which is what? Which is the war. Because I know that a lot of people, this is exactly where they are having a problem when it comes to when it comes to understanding the pronunciation of of the particular name. But right here, you are going to see and understand the reason why this who has to play its role, because the who you're seeing here is what is a conjunction. This who is serving the same purpose of which this particular pictograph is telling you about. This pictograph is serving as what? As a connector. Is serving as what? As a branch, that when you put something on it, is it from this side or from this side, they are all going to meet at a point. Don't you see it? They are going to meet at a point. And now I'm showing you the pictographic name of what? Of our Heavenly Father's name. This is a pictograph. It's not everybody who knows the mystery of this, the pictograph. So now I want us to focus on this 10th peg, because we already see the right hand arm, which means the Son is on the right hand of the Father. Before he came, this is the right hand of His Majesty, right? So now he was at the right hand of His Majesty before he came and was hung upon a stake. And when he was hung upon a stake, he resurrected, and he resurrected, and now he's sitting again back at the right hand of what? Of His Majesty. So now this particular 10th peg, this particular Y-shaped branch tree is what I want you to understand, for me to be able to show you the mystery of the who, the mystery of this conjunction. Now listen to what, understand what is going on. Listen here. We see that what this particular right hand arm is called the Yod. This is the He, which when we talk about an upright arms, we talk about Wa, we talk about the He. Now, I know that a lot of people, some people know about the way that the Yod makes the sound of Y from the English perspective. Now I'm bringing these things, in order to show you a lot of things on how them scholars came about presenting people with what? With the term of Yod He Waw He. Now, and also go further to be able to show you the mysteries of the things which is contained therein. So when you pronounce this out in the Hebrew, you sound out as what? As Yod. So now the Yod makes the sound of Y. The Yod makes the sound of, the first sound that comes out of your mouth when you are pronouncing this right arm in the Hebrew. When you are pronouncing it out, the first sound that comes out of your mouth is what? Is what they call in the English as what? As Y, which is the Yod, Y sound. You see it? So what happened? We brought down the term Y, came down here to be. You understand it now. So now we have the next pictograph there, which is what? Which is the Hey, or as they put in here, you see that what it is? Behold, that is someone raising his upright arm. Which is what? Which is Yahushua when he is at the right hand of His Majesty, before he was sent forth on what to call, was hung upon a stake, upon a tree, and when he resurrected, he went back on his what? On the right hand of His Majesty. So now this particular pictograph that you're seeing here in the Hebrew is called Hey. Now, what sound comes out of your mouth the moment you made this pronunciation of Hey? The sound that comes out of your mouth is what? The first sound is what? Is H. So what happened is, these scholars took up the term H, because from the Hebrew, the first sound that comes out of your mouth is what? Is the H sound when you're pronouncing this particular pictograph, which is the Hey. So what happened is, they presented with to the Hebrews who knew the mystery of this pictograph. They asked them, what are this? Because the strangers, the Gentiles, do not know about them pictographs. So they needed a Hebrew who have an origin, who knows the mystery of the pictograph. So when they called these people, they tried to make these people so that these people could pronounce these particular pictographs. And the moment they were pronouncing it, the first sound that is coming out of their mouth is what they used to do, or to do a lot of things. Now, this is what I'm showing you, what these scholars did. Now, this particular pictograph now, which is the Hey, was being pronounced. So the first sound was being taken to be the H. So now we have the next one, which is the war. And this is very, very crucial here, which is this war. Now this makes the sound of what? W. But there was no any words in any alphabet to represent a single word in this English alphabet. So the W sound, which is the war, makes the sound of W. The yod, sorry, makes the sound of what? W. Not the yod. The war, sorry, this is the yod, this is the hey, this is the war. Now this war makes the sound of W. So now they have something to be able to represent this sound, which is what? Which is the W sound. In the English now, you have some people, they talk about W, like now in the Arabic language. If you see the sign of double, what's the English people call W, in the Arabic it is called W, which is double V. You get it? So now, in order for them to be able to bring out the sound, this particular sound, now they use the term, they use the word, the best word for them is what? Is to use the W sound. Now, which is being represented by what? By this double V. So when you are pronouncing this particular word, you are actually pronouncing what? You are actually pronouncing, you need to pronounce it in what? From the Hebrew sound. So now we have other one, which is what? Which is the hey. Again, which makes the sound of H. So this is where you see people come about what? The yod, hey, wow, hey. Or what other people call the tetragrammaton. You understand it? So this is where they are. They come down to this particular point. So now, when they came down to this point now, it is now left for the people who want to do their own research to be able to do what? To go dig deeper in order to see how to pronounce this particular name now, or this term that you're seeing here. Now, when we went down here also, because I arranged some things, in order to do what? To bring you into the knowledge of exactly how everything connects with itself, according to the things which is written in the book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 14. I am that I am. We're going to somewhere to be able to see the basic, to be able to understand the mystery of that. Now listen to what the Bible said in that particular place. He said, and Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. So what actually that particular passage is saying, when you talk about it in the Hebrew now, you're talking about, and Elohim said unto Moses, Haya hu Hawa. Now this is what I want you to understand, that Haya, like I said, means the same thing as what? As Hawa. And I'm going to be showing you, I'm already showing you on the process of this now. Just you need to be able to do what? To take along, bring up your Strong's Concordance and hold up your Bible with you, so that you can be able to really see these things yourself. You get it? So now listen to what happened. This Haya, which means to exist, and Hu, which also means, which means is, that, Who, and Hawa, which means to exist. So we see I am, which is in the English, that in the English, and then another I am. This is exactly the same thing that you're seeing here. Hawa, Hu, Hawa, Haya, Hu, Hawa. But now I want us to do what? To go further, to be able to dissect this. To dissect this. What do we see here now? Right here, when we come down here, we see that what? The same term, when we go into the book of Psalms chapter number 68 from verse number 4. I want us to see something, because we are about to dissect. We are about to go dig deeper now into what? Into the knowledge of truth, to be able to really see. We want to go into the book of Psalms chapter number 68 from verse number 4. I want us to go into the book of Psalms chapter number 68 from verse number 4. That is where the Bible says, exalt him. But let me just open it up so that we can be able to see it and read it also, because that particular place I want us to see about Yah. You get it? I want us to see 68 verse 4. It says, sing unto psalms Psalms chapter number 68 from verse number 4. It says, sing unto Elohim, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah. I want you to understand something there. Now, this particular place that you're seeing here, where are we? This particular place, sorry, we're about to see something here that is deep here. When we went here now, we're seeing that here, that the term Yah, which is found here, which we found in the book of Psalm chapter number 68 from verse number 4. When we went into the Strong's, the Strong is going to point us also back to what? To the same Strong's number which is contained in the book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 14. That is the Strong's Hebrew number 1961. Is going to point us to the same Strong's. Now I'm about to show you something. Let's just take a bit time to be able to see this. Psalms chapter number 68 from verse number 4. You see the term here that is Yah. You see here, which is Yah. Actually, we want to see the tools. Now we want to go there to be able to see where is it going to point us to. Where is it going to point us to? Yah. Here, it points us to what? To Hebrew 3050, right? Which we clicked. Now we want to see. We want to see further. Check out what is going to show onto us. Where is it going to refer us to? It says here, contraction for what? 3068, and meaning the same. So you see, they say it is what? A contraction of 3068. And what is 3068? This is something I want you to understand. What is this 3068? 3068 is pointing us back to what? To what is written in the book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 15. Understand it. Understand it. So now, they say is a contraction for what? 3068. So now, listen to what happened here now. This Yah is a contraction of 3068. And that is the reason why I brought it down here. Now, we have another one, which is the who, which is that. We have another word here. We now picked this one, Wa, because here, we took here, which means the same thing. And in the Hebrew, this Wa and Yah means the same thing. So we have that. So we do subtraction method now to be able to really get exactly what we are looking for. You understand it now, because what you need to be able to see here is that this Hayah, we took up Yah alone, which gave us to do what? To be in the Hebrew Strong's number 3068, right? So now this 3068 told us that it means the same thing with what? With the one that is in the 3068 means the same thing. That is Yah, and 3068 is the same thing. So, and what is 3068? Now these are deep things which you need to be able to really see and be able to understand, because if you do, 3068 means what? Listen to what it says there. 3068 is going to take us into the book of the same book of Exodus chapter number 3 from verse number 15. Listen to what it says. You need to understand what is going on here. Listen, 3068 said, we know that it is Yahuwah. So they say is what? They say the root word for this etymology is what? Is 1961. Did you see what is going on here? Did you see what is going on here? They say the root word is what? Is 1961, which is what? Which is Hayah. Are you understanding what is happening here? So here, you need to understand that what? This term Yah, which comes from 3068, which they told us have the same meaning with 3068. So now we went to 3068 to see what 3068 is. We clicked on 3068 and 3068 referred us and sent us back to what? To Hayah. So telling us that when we use the term Yah, which is here, that it means the same thing as what? As this complete haya. So when we take this hawa complete, it also means the same thing when we take last what? As wa. So now we did our substitution to be able to do what? To take this one now, because here in the book of Psalm chapter number 68 from verse number 4, it told us, extol him by that rideth upon the face of the water with what? Upon the earth with what? With his name Yah, which took us into the Hebrew Strong's 1961, taking us back into the whole concept. So now we brought this down here. We have who, we have it here. We have who, which means that. So we have now Yah, we have who, we have also wa here. So now we want to go back into another overstanding. Now I want you to observe something now. Observe something here in this particular place. What is this tent peg? What is its role here? When you check here now, you see that what? That Yah, which is Y-A-H, and who, and when you come here, you see that there are two H here, which is this H and this H, right? This H and this H, and there is another two W and this W. Overstand it, this W and this W. So we are seeing two W here, this two W here, because just overstand that we did subtraction here. We dropped ha here, we dropped ha here, which left us with Yah, who, and wa. So but we want to go further to do other subtraction. You know why? Because the tent peg is serving as a role model here. The tent peg is collecting data from here, and is going to jam them together. That is exactly what this tent peg is all about. That is what is serving as a purpose. So now what happened is, we further have to do what? Do the substitution. So when we substituted this particular, we have two H here, one H here, the other one here. I mean this H here and this H here. We have this W here and this W here. So now we want to do exactly the same substitution that we did there, to be able to see if we substitute this and this and this and this particular term that is going to remain, what is going to be the meaning of this particular term? Where is it going to point us to? Then, oh my goodness, you need to be able to see the mystery of this, my dear brothers and sisters. I'm giving you the mystery of the book. You need to understand. Listen to what is going on here. We did this substitution that we did here now. We've now, this particular tent peg now is playing this particular role of what? Of opening up a sound and closing it up. Here it opens up, here it opens up, and the same place they closed both at this juncture here. They closed, they came in at this particular point. At this point is the place where they came in. You see it? This is the place where they joined. So in another sense now, this tent peg is serving as something that is opening up a sound, and it's also doing what? And it's also closing up a sound. So when we did the substitution, we are seeing that what? That Yah, this who now, instead of pronouncing this who now alone, or instead of pronouncing this wa, we've already done this substitution. So we have one sound left. That is, the three sounds are going to be in one now. You understand it? That is three that are playing the role of one. We have Yah, who, wa. So we have here now, we substituted, we have Yah, which is this. Now from this, we also have who, right? And from this, we also have wa. So we have actually everything that is here is also contained here. So when you pronounce this particular term, when you pronounce this name, you are actually calling on what? On this party, everything that is here. And when you pronounce this, you're actually calling on what? On everything that is talk about I am, that I am. So what I want you to understand is, by the time we came down here, understand it, we saw that what? The substitution now gave us to brought us to this particular place, which is Yahuwah. And now we wanted to know, what does this term mean, Yahuwah? We went here. That is in the Hebrew Strong's 3068. 3068 tells us that what? Yahuwah, which is, they put Jehovah here, but we know that that is not the real pronunciation, because there is a vowels that was being added to it. So we know that this is the self-existing one. They said here, you need to understand it, that this is what? This is actually the name. This is the name which have a 3 vowel sound. That is to say, which has completely the 3 vowel sound, which is when you pronounce the name Yahuwah, because everything that is contained here, Yah, which means the self-existing one that exists, that is existing. So when you pronounce this particular name, that is the reason why you need to be able to understand the mystery of the pictograph, because the pictograph is actually conveying a message of the Father's name, even contained within the message of the pictograph is who the Father is. That is who the Father is when you talk about the name itself. Because in here now, we have everything that we need about the name of our Heavenly Father. The name Yah. Yah is here. Who? Just watch it out. Just watch it out. Yah is here. Now, this tent peg is now about to open again, because this hedge has closed. So from that closing also, there is another opening, because it's serving 2 purposes. It opens up and closes. So now Yah has closed now, and then now another one who has opened and closed here, and then did what? From here also Wah opened and closes. So when we see this particular name Yahuwah, my dear brothers and sisters out there, there is no any other name on the face of the earth that is going to be compared to this name, because this is the name of the one that created the universe, that met. You need to understand the messenger that was being sent to go and meet Moses. This was the message that was being given to him. This was the message. Now listen to it. We go back into the particular verse 15, where it says that what? And Elohim said moreover unto Moshe, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, this particular place, you see Lord, that is where he pronounced his name. That is where Yahuwah pronounced his name. And that particular name, let's go and see what it means. You see here they say the Yahuwah. Now we traced it into what Hebrew. What did it give to us? You see here they put in Jehovah, but we know that that is absolutely not right, because there is vowels and this is not the right pronunciation. So when we went into 3068, where did it point us to? Where did it point us to? This is a key. This is very important. It pointed us to where? To Yahuwah, which is, they say, root word etymology from what? From 1961. And this is the name. You need to be able to understand that it pointed us to what? To I am, which is 1961, which is a place where, from where we came all the way from up, to be able to really dissect it to come to this level here. So my dear brothers and sisters, I just gave you a lot of mysteries about this particular name of Yahuwah. That there is no any other name that is contained there, that is out there, that can be able to do what, that can be able to challenge the only name that is given under heaven, whereby we must be saved, is the name of Yahushua. And the name of our Heavenly Father is Yahuwah, which is the same name that the messenger was being sent to do what? To reveal the mysteries behind the name of Yahuwah. And this is what I'm doing today, in order to elevate my brothers and my sisters, those who are sincere truth seekers, to be able to see and open up their eyes and know that there is no other name that you can see out there. When you are calling on any other name rather than the name of Yahuwah, you are on your own. You need to understand it, that you are on your own, because the revelation of the name of Yahuwah has been given to you. Because all the way that we walk through here, you see The mysteries of the name of Yahuwah being revealed right in front of you. And this I say to you all, to all my brothers and sisters, those seekers of the truth, those who are really open-minded, working it out, to be able to really put all their hope and trust, to be able to really know that their walk in Yahuwah, everything is being completely done in what's in perfect harmony, because we are one in Yahushua. Because if you check the name of Yahuwah, you see the name of Yahushua is found, the name of Yahuwah is found in the name of Yahushua. And you are part in what? In the people that did what? You are part of a creation. Did you understand what that means? Because you are one with the Father. You are one in the Son. And because of that, you've been begotten. You are the begotten of our Heavenly Father. You need to be able to see these things, my dear brothers and sisters. I just gave you the mysteries of the book of Exodus, which is all about the revelation of the name of Yahuwah. And that is why I want you, my dear brothers and sisters, to be those who really are open-minded to see the truth for what it is. Because we are out here in order to really give you the best, the real concrete understanding of the truth. I am that I am is Ahaya, or Haya, Hu, Hawa, which means Yahuwah. So when I am, or when the messenger, which is Haya, which is Ahaya, was being sent, the message that was being given to him was to give the revelation of the name of Yahuwah. I say to you all, Shalom to all my brothers and sisters, those who have really out there in order to make it out, through the name of Yahushua. Shalom to you all. Shalom.